everyone. Today I have Bansi with me, and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions about your life.
Cool.
So, may
Happy
I
to be
know?
here.
May I ask your age?
I'm 53.
Oh, okay. What's the feeling like to be 53?
Feels pretty similar to being 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that feeling?
I mean, my sense of self, my consciousness feels very much the same. Feels pretty timeless. My body gets older, so I can't do
The things you did.
as much as I used to do.
15, huh?
I can't do everything I did when I was 15. I couldn't, athletically, but yeah, I feel timeless.
Timeless.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? Timeless.
Spacious.
Spacious? You feel spacious?
Yeah.
Your age? Right now?
I mean, well, when I feel into my sense of self, who I am, it just feels maybe beyond the body, but it just feels like, yeah, it's just a spaciousness and a consciousness.
That's great. Is that related to your practice, meditation?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you know, I mean, I've done practices for a long time. I started meditating in 1992.
Right.
And even started a few other things before that. But really, that was when my serious transformational work started in 1992.
How did you get started?
Wow. Yeah, it's like, how far back do you go? Because nothing really happens in a void, so there's always a context. So like the context of my whole life was there from birth, and being separated from my mother at birth, and having some early traumatic experiences, and then looking for meaning later in life. Get my coffee going. Thank you. Yeah, so then looking for because life was kind of uncomfortable. I think when I was young, I started young looking for things. I actually did see a psychiatrist even at age 6, 7, 8 because I had developed some tics and was quite, kind of nervous and scared and yeah, I needed support early. And then when in my teens, I started looking at things like so there's people walking by. It's a bit distracting.
Yeah.
It's hard
So we started like over? Like, do you want to?
I mean, we don't need to start over necessarily, but I just sort of acknowledging. It's like to stay focused and a thread with distractions is challenging. But it's authentic, so hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Unless you want.
Meditation helps, I guess, like being focused. I'm pretty focused on you right now.
Good, cool. Yeah, you don't see the people.
Oh yeah, the people. Yeah, we have different angle. Maybe she's
and that's not us. No.
No. Okay.
See,
Too many distractions.
Always distractions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. In my teens, I studied, I think it was more like 5th grade. I started studying Henry David Thoreau and Emerson, kind of looking at a life examined and really what do we get to choose and choose your own adventure stories and all these kinds of things. When I was 18, I basically left home and got into the Grateful Dead and rainbow gatherings and reading Ram Dass and Richard Bach, and all of that world started really percolating. Like, oh, there's different possibilities in life. There's a world of possibilities. And also in that time, I was experimenting with psychedelics.
How was that experience?
Yeah. I mean, it really was different. Like, oh, the world can be seen differently. But that it didn't. Even those didn't really provide the crucial transformations, though. It was really only meditation that made a difference in my consciousness. And so,
What's the difference? How did it make it?
Well, the difference is I learned to look inward, and even if I'm looking outward, even with psychedelics or something else, I'm still looking outward, and there might be shifts going on, or I see that there's a different possibility or a different way to perceive the world, but I'm not really knowing who I am until I look inward. And psychedelics by themselves didn't really give me that.
Yeah.
Not enough. Yeah. And so when I was 20 years old, then I started reading, I was introduced to Osho and was reading Osho books and listening to some Osho talks. And that was when some profound things started happening. I remember I was reading one of the books, and this kind of inner explosion happened, and I felt like this guy knows me. And if people are living what I'm reading about, I have to be there. And 3 weeks later, I was living in Indianapolis, Indiana at the time. And 3 weeks later, I was at the main center in India, in Pune, India. And that's when really the biggest transformation started, was when I was at that center for most of the year.
For a year? You stayed in the meditation center?
About 9 months I was in Pune, yeah.
Wow, how was that experience?
Yeah, as I said, it was probably the biggest pivotal moment in my life where I really shifted and found real resources to be able to transform my energy and be more self-aware. And I mean, I was really sad for a while because I was actually grieving a lot of loss, but that's better than not feeling anything. I was actually learning to feel what I was feeling, and through that process, those feelings can kind of cycle through and complete over time. It takes time because you don't get to just skim through the wisdom of the body. It takes time to listen to it. But I've been involved in some form of meditation center ever since. It's been some 33 years now. And I've probably evolved a lot of my own orientations as well, because Osho for me, who was a guru who probably had more impact globally than any other guru as far as I know, was quite kind of a replacement father figure, a kind of benign father figure for me, and that's something I needed at the time, I would say. But over time, it's my relationship to him, even though he left his body in 1990, but my psychological relationship to him has changed, and now I see him more as a friend or a colleague.
You mean the guru?
Yeah, like he's not so much a guru anymore. Like even looking to the guru is a way of looking outside yourself. This is one of the keys to kind of transformation and empowerment, is owning my inner authority, and that we're conditioned as children. We have to have an external authority, our parents, but most of us continue that throughout our lives, and we have parents or external authorities, and then maybe we have clergy or politicians or the experts in some field, or the scientists, or then we get spiritual, then it's the gurus and it's the workshop leaders. But the workshop leaders and the gurus probably are more helpful in most cases than most of the other examples, but it's still an external authority if they're saying something. What happens when I finally have enough trust in myself and trust in existence to say, okay, I can tune into my inner authority to listen to what do my impulses say, what do I feel, and not have to lean on someone else's ideas. So I think for me that's a maturation process. If someone is mature enough, they drop external authorities. It doesn't mean you don't respect the outside. I mean, I think everybody is my teacher, and because I can have a respectful, honoring relationship with everybody. But it's different than this is the person who knows, and I'm going to follow him, or I'm going to put them on a pedestal or bow to them or whatever it is. I don't have that anymore. It's Like it doesn't matter if someone comes to me as whatever high status they have in the world, it doesn't impact me. What I do is I just feel what I feel when I'm with them, and that's what I go by is my feeling. So
Interesting. Yeah. So you mentioned you find a resource to look into yourself, right? What's the resource you mentioned?
meditation. I mean, meditation is the key. I also found, I mean, a lot of people nowadays even find do sitting meditation, for instance, vipassana or something like that. I was inducted, you could say, with Osho's active meditations. So it was always, there's some physical activity, shaking, dancing, humming, laughing. Like we do something physical for a few stages, and then there's some silence at the end. And I've always found that to be more effective because there's it's really based on like Osho created it because of his understanding of human condition. Back in Buddha's time, when sitting meditation started, people spent their lives chopping wood and hauling water, and when it was time to sit, they were very happy to have a rest. You know, nowadays we spend most of our days in front of screens, sitting at a desk, on our phones, computers, tablets, and inundated with constant messaging and advertisements everywhere we go, with signs and billboards, and it's like a constant information deluge with radio and podcasts and YouTube and everything else. So our minds become very active with that, and if we just start with sitting meditation, it'll still work, but it takes a lot longer, you could say, because it's with the active meditations, I can actually wake up, move my energy, express the energy, and create a kind of gap so that then I can feel my inner silence. And I can do that within a 1 hour period instead of many hours.
Right, you can do meditation anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, well, I mean, even more advanced would be like I can make everything a meditation, like talking to you.
Yeah, anywhere, anytime. Yeah. What's the key to do that? What's the most important thing to?
It's I mean, again, just from my own experience, but it's a practice of awareness. So it's cultivated through meditation practice. But then I bring that awareness to whatever I'm doing, so I can really be present with the sensations, the taste, the flavor, the sound of my voice, the temperature of the glass, the wind on my skin. There's hundreds of subtle things going on. Can I be present with those subtleties? And that being present with the subtleties is being in the here and now, and that is a meditation practice.
Amazing. Being here and now. Be present. Just be present.
Yeah. Easy to say, not always easy to do.
Yeah, it's always easy to say. So, what's the main takeaway from the meditation you got? Like you just look into yourself. You find yourself.
Yeah, and it's like I know who I am. When I think of my life before I went to India, I didn't have any clear direction, and I had no compass. I had no way to choose a direction. I had no real reliable way. Okay, parents want me to go to Ivy League school. Okay, that's great. You can justify it, why that's good. You have different friends or societal ideas of, it's good to be a scientist, or it's good to be a this or that. But how does that have any meaning? Like meaning comes from somewhere else, and I didn't really have meaning until I could feel my own impulses of what I wanted.
Yeah. So you find yourself.
Yeah.
That's good. What's that feeling like? Just be home. Go find your home.
Yeah, it's a little bit like being home. Wherever I go, there I am.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I remember I saw this documentary of Peter Boche. He has been meditation. So he has been wandering for 5 years. He just go anywhere, like in the cave or streets, wherever. But the documentary topic is wonder but no wonder. So he's home, no matter where he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great place to be.
And I've traveled a lot too. Like
Yeah.
especially like before the 2 years before I went to India, I was traveling constantly almost. You know, with,
Where did you go?
well, at that time it was mostly just around the United States. But I would go sometimes to different rainbow gatherings or following the Grateful Dead, or sometimes just going here or there, just looking for something, or going to visit someone. I attempted to go to a traditional college at that time. It didn't take for me. I stayed 3 weeks and dropped out.
Why you don't like it?
I didn't like it.
Why? It's too boring.
There were too many. The way I would interpret it now is that there's too many external authorities.
Oh, that's true.
And they don't support anything authentic. You know, they're just like, we know the answers.
You have to follow.
You have to, you know, repeat them, and then you will. It's just like, and then, like I remember, I was even taking like kind of the elective classes that I thought I'd really like, because that way I might stay in. You know, because I kind of suspected this was a challenge. But I remember teachers saying, this is the best way to do this, it's the only way to do this, you will not find a better way, do not even try. And I just don't accept that. I've never accepted that. There's always a better way, there's always another way. You know, it's like you could look through the history of mankind, you know, it's like
Yeah, of
people.
course. This question I want to ask you is if you can give some young people some advice, what would you say?
Well, I'll firstly just acknowledge that like we're starting over after we lost some of our video. But yeah, what would I tell younger people? Listen to your inner self. Listen to your own feelings. Listen to your inner knowing. Trust your inner knowing. Trust your feelings. Trust yourself. Trust what you know.
And if you can go back to your younger self, what would you say to him?
To my younger self?
Yeah.
Buy Bitcoin. Let me talk about that.
Yeah.
No, I would say the same thing. Yeah, like trust what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Life will show you.
Life will like you know what you need to do, and you know there is no wrong choices. You don't have to sell yourself short. You don't have to suppress yourself. You don't have to conform to anyone else's ideas of who you should be or what you should do. You can really carve your own path and find your own authenticity.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Is that it?
That's great advice. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically the channel, my goal, just asking people for advice for younger people to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've already been through a lot in life, work, life. You have more wisdom. Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. It doesn't always come with age, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I've done a lot of things and made a lot of choices, and yeah, I think that's the thing, is there's really no wrong choices.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's just a different flavor. You know, it's an apple or an orange. So the idea that you know you make the wrong choice and you know your life is going to go down, it's not.
Yeah, I agree.
There is no wrong choices.
I agree with you.
So take the risk, follow your gut, follow your impulse. Don't make yourself conform to something that doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
It's been
thanks
lovely to
for-
chat with you.
Thanks for sharing. It's a great advice. Okay.